Falguni, did you experience any kind of bias when it came to raising capital, when it came to, what is also your strength? Did it also become a sort of, challenge in the eyes of people?
Honestly, I have to say that I feel that I did not face it. And if I may say that, it is all maybe in my experience, the kind of investors who supported me, the way the investors respected me, the kind of through the years, the colleagues I've had at work, both at Ferguson's, Kotak, and then Nykaa, my bosses or my other colleagues or people who work for me, or all the men around me in family, in terms of my father-in-law, my dad. I always talked about my brother, my son, my husband, like, or my son-in-law. I've never seen, and or even like her father-in-law, everybody. So I've never been victim of that, or maybe I've never allowed myself to be the victim of that.
Yeah, but I
Because
have
we were
a
arguing on this
different point
yesterday.
of view on it. Because I feel that it's great to be optimistic and it's great to see the positive. It's great to be thick-skinned and move on. But I think as women leaders, to not acknowledge that there are biases against women is not right, because there are. And perhaps she, at the age of 50, with a stellar investment banking career, did not face it. But there are a whole bunch of women in their 30s who do not have that track record, who are facing it. Yeah. Point number one. So there are 100% biases in the workplace, in the work setting. That does exist. We have to acknowledge it. Number two, there are also just like biological, structural, factors that also do come in the way of women having, absolutely like easy, smooth sailing careers and so forth. And I think if you look around in our office, in other offices, women who have to take breaks when they're having kids, in horrible situations where, their families don't allow them to work, this does happen in this country. And I think we have to accept it, we have to acknowledge it. And it's great to be like optimistic that, okay, this exists, but we're going to be positive about it. But I think by not acknowledging it, we're not doing right.
Yeah, in fact, I have to tell you that your mother and I, we were in a panel together. So she was in that spectrum. I was on a complete different.
Okay. So maybe I'm somewhere in between.
Spectrum. But, but again, it's a very meaningful conversation that we are having. That one is that, yes, it exists. The other is that, yes, it exists. Now, what do you do about it?
Yeah,
right?
And like my approach is like, if I see a bias, I'm going to call everyone out on it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that is our generation, right?
Yeah.
Like we do believe that things should be fair, things should be equal. And if there's something going wrong, I'm going to call people out on it. And I do think some amount of bias 100% exists towards women.
We have a bright future when girls like you are, because I think no one else will come and change the world, or the world will not become equal by like just, someone descending and solving. It's like every girl, every leader, every woman leader, everyone standing and talking and supporting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're saying. But again, for me, the learning is going to be from Falguni, because I'm going to go back today and say that, okay, every time I see something, of course, I'll stand up for others. But in my life, I will say that, listen, I choose to see what's good. It's reminding me of a conversation which I heard about Shah Rukh Khan. He said that every day I get up and I surround myself with people who'll say good things, because anyways you hear so much of negativity, then why at home also should you hear negative this thing?